Okay, in this tutorial we're going to be talking about how you create points. And I've just opened up AutoCAD and I want you to know I have set it to my template drawing, which should look a lot like your template drawing. So it's pretty bare, and I realize that I know that I've asked you to start a new template drawing based on the acad.dwt, and much of the label styles and layers and things like that are missing because it's not the same template as we have been using this class period. But I wanted you to be sure and know how to do it, and there's no way to get rid of the layers using the other template. There was no way to get rid of all those AutoCAD standard, CAD standard, National CAD standard layers. So we're going to stick with this, and I know it's going to be tough, but I think you can do it. Okay, so first of all, let's go to Create Point on the ribbon by selecting the Home tab and the Create Ground Data panel, and then select Point. And in this drop-down menu, you can see that you can create points manually, by intersection, by alignment, by surfaces or slope, or you can create by interpolation. Okay, so let's click on this point creation tool. And you can see here that the Create Points toolbar is displayed. You can click on the chevrons here on this side, and this is where you can change the settings of how points are created. So whether or not it prompts you for elevations and point names, description, and that type of information. If you're satisfied with that, then you can click the chevrons again and that will disappear. I also want to show you how to do it over here in the tool space. I think as we get more advanced in using AutoCAD for surveying, you're going to need or find that you need to use the tool space more often. So let's, on the tool space and prospector menu, go to the point and right click and then select Create. And then your Create Point toolbar shows up here. If you need help in trying to determine what these commands mean and what the buttons do, then please use your Help menu, and you can click here on this question mark to get help. Well, and it should have popped up right to information about the Create Point. There it is. The Create Point dialog box shows up here, and so the Help menu on the dialog box is displayed. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a point. We're going to create it manually, and as you'll notice on the command line it says please specify a location for the new point. And if you have dynamic input on, I'm going to select it just so you can see. You could also enter in a coordinate here. So we could type 50, tab, and 0, hit enter, and then type in a description and an elevation. And then it'll ask for another one, and you can select another point right here. Enter description, test 2, elevation. Okay, and then if you want to exit out of this command, you can either hit escape or just hit enter. Okay, so you may be wondering, where is the point number, elevation, and description? Usually we have that listed here. Well, points in AutoCAD, all points are assigned a point group, and point groups are used to organize your points. And if you have none created, it makes one for you. It automatically makes one for you. Even if you have some created, it creates one, and you can find it over here in the prospector by clicking on the plus. And so it creates a point group called All Points. Every drawing does it, and it's automatically created, and you cannot delete it. But each point group has a label style associated with it. And so if you can see as I hover over this, the label style is set to default. So let's right click on the All Points point group and select Properties. And here it says Point Style Standard, and the point label style says None. So there is no label associated with it. You can select Standard here. I want you to know that if you were using the other template, the one we've been using the entire time, the NCS Standard one, the Imperial NCS Standard one, there are many different point label styles to choose from. So you might want to copy them over using the same way we did earlier in the other tutorial I created for you, to copy that label setting over to your current template or the one you've created. So let's just select Standard and hit OK. Now you can see that it has shown up. One thing I hope is that I have gone in here several weeks ago for one of the homework assignments and changed some of the settings here. So yours may not look like mine. I cannot remember what I changed about it. So if you want to edit that style, you can do so by clicking on that, and the Label Style Composer comes up. And it's much like we did for the annotation labeling lines and curves. So you can see that it's general. And also I want you to make note of the layer. You may want to change this layer. Maybe we want to put it on depth points. Or maybe we want to create a new layer called PNTS for points, or PNT, or PT, something to that effect. And now we're going to put our points on the PT layer. Okay, so you can change that information and that point label style here. Okay, so hit OK. And also notice that if we had multiple points in here and they were kind of close together and on top of each other, then and you zoom out, you may want to resize the points. And note that when points come into the drawing, they have the annotative scale associated with it. So we can change that by changing the annotation scale and change the size of the points and what they read. Here's another thing that is a little bit of a problem by using that template drawing. Our scales that are that we've been familiar with and have been using aren't there anymore. So you can go to Custom, or you can add and edit them here. You can right click on the drawing, go to Settings tab, Settings tab, right click on Drawing 1 and then click Edit Drawing Settings. And then here you can change the setting here, and they're still here on this location. And you can calculate them and add them to this status bar if you want. So hit that, and it changed the size of them. So if you want to go back down a little bit smaller, this is not 1 inch equals 30 feet. This is 1 to 30. So keep that in mind when you go to create your new ones, that you want them to be a little bit different. Okay, so there is the tutorial on creating points.